Hello there! We've been waiting for you!
Hello?
Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie.
Attention, all true believers. Marvel Comics is on the air.
A friend of the unfortunate, enemy of criminals. In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle.
Boys and girls, your attention, please. Presenting a new exciting radio program featuring the thrilling adventures of an amazing and incredible personality.
Faster than an airplane, more powerful than a locomotive, impervious to bullets.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Valentine's Day, and now we're here.
Hey, we're back.
Hey, everybody.
Awesome. I got the
hello.
Partner in crime here. What's up, Rob?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Hope you all had a great week.
Yeah, it was okay.
It's all right.
It's better than his.
We're old. How great is the week going to be?
Yeah, better than John's week. I take it.
Yeah, for people who reached out, thank you again. All I remember was it was Valentine's Day, and I started feeling poorly, and the next thing I knew, it was like St. Patrick's Day. I don't recommend getting COVID and pneumonia back to back. Not the best. Not the best. The funny thing is, I would be comforted if my doctor didn't make the same exact face Robbie just made. It's cool for Robbie to make that face. When somebody who's been to medical school makes that face, I'm like, oh.
It's a problem.
That's a problem, man. Is it T-virus? What are we talking about? But
glad you seem to be feeling better, John.
Yeah, I mean, it was just weird. Like, days are passing and I'm sick, and people are like, hey, where are you, man? And I'm like, home. I'm feeling better. Hopefully I continue to feel better. They gave me everything, man. They gave me some inhaler things, some nasal spray things, shots, this, that, a steroid. I said, I don't know. The only steroids I want, man, are from Captain America. I'm not interested in the other stuff. But
that was a serum, not a steroid.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend, Robbie?
Oh, I had a great weekend. Spent it with people I care deeply about, and I had a good, enjoyable time eating some good food, watching some good movies, hanging out with some cool people.
Yeah, March Madness. Robbie's been really hitting some very cool movies.
Yeah, this one we had a nice 1-2 punch, man. Like the Babadook we did last night. Tonight we're doing Mother. And
Mother, I saw
those are like two very appropriate movies to do back to back. This was my first time watching this film, and I've been thinking about it. Man, it's good. I've been thinking about it all day. All day. I've been thinking about this movie.
What's it about?
It is a very different movie for this actress. Usually we see her in like Hunger Games and some of this other stuff or whatever. Jennifer Lawrence. This is different.
Yeah, how to describe the movie without really, because it's a movie that unfolds and you need to watch it to unfold. But it's basically about a woman and her husband who live an isolated life in a house, and people come to the house and start interrupting it. It's kind of about the breakup of a marriage, but that is like the most surface level explanation of what the movie is, because it is like layers deep, but you gotta experience it for yourself.
Yeah, it's hard. It's one of those movies that's hard to describe. Right? If Robbie is having trouble describing it, I don't feel bad. It's one of those things where I tell people, It's kind of cool, and you should watch it. That's like the best. Like
so, Marcus says it's a Bible story.
Kind of, but it's not a Bible story.
It depends on what you mean by Bible story. I mean, I don't think you're going to find that story specifically in the Bible, but
no. There is a layer to it that is kind of an interpretation of events in the Bible, but in a way different context and perspective. In a way.
But it's different for something from Jennifer Lawrence. If you're kind of tired of seeing,
right.
I thought this was a different gear shift for her, and I think she pulled it off. The movie was not like a massive box office bonanza or anything, right. But I think she did a.
She's great. Javier Bardem is great in it. Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer in the movie, they're great. It's directed by Darren Aronofsky, who of course did Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan and The Wrestler and Five. Yeah. So you kind of know what you're getting into. When the Black
Swan guy does a movie, you should probably expect a little bit of differentness. I'll put it that way, maybe. A lot of respect for the guy, but he's just not banging out movies. You know what I mean? He's not like, if I tell you to see a Guy Ritchie movie, I'm all in, but you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like Guy Ritchie. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but you kind of know what you're getting with Guy Ritchie or whatever, right? I'm thinking of directors.
It has certain kind of style, if you will.
This is a little...
his style is weird. I'm just kind of violent.
I was laid up, and of course, when I decided I was going to take a deep dive back to my roots of horror, I watched all 6 Trancers movies. There's like a 22-minute Trancers 1.5 animated kind of thing. It was just very cool. It was, I'm just kind of clicking through, and I could not remember the last time that I had seen Trancers. And I kind of love that little period in the 80s where they were trying
Trancers was which one? I saw that movie. I know.
Trancers let you know that dry hair is for squids. That was like the line from that movie everybody loved.
Was it the one where the head explodes?
No, that's Scanners.
Scanners, okay.
Which I literally watched today before I got over here.
So,
but Trancers, the guy is it's about time travel, and there's a very much comic book supervillain. He's beamed back in time to his body in the 20th century from the 23rd century, and of course the hijinks ensue. A very young Helen Hunt is in this movie.
Interesting.
You don't expect Helen Hunt to be the girl in an 80s movie,
and it's an Empire picture too, so that means it's like cheap, silly, and they made a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, to be clear, this is not this isn't like Nosferatu, which they spent $1 zillion to recreate or whatever.
Right.
I will tell you something that was particularly cool. This is something I thought maybe I had imagined and forgotten. I remembered like a sort of re-release of Trancers in black and white, and it was edited a little bit to be, we'll say, slightly more noir, and it was called Trancers Noir. And I thought I just imagined it or whatever.
Right.
Well, when I'm looking at Trancers and I'm like, Apple TV, what am I watching? And I think they're $5 a piece or something. And I'm like, I'm sitting here. I'd be spending this on beers or something. Fine. Click, click, click. They said, would you like Trancers or would you like Trancers Noir? And my jaw hit the floor. Like, I didn't imagine it. And it's on the Full Moon subscription service that's platforming 80s classics in black and white. And I got it for like $4.99. And it's, if anything can make Trancers a little bit better, just like for me, Godzilla -1 is putting it in black and white. I love black and white. And it's a cool movie. Is it good? It's entertaining. I don't know if I'd call that good, but they banged out a whole bunch of them, man. And like Robbie said, they're sort of, they're like the spirit of Halloween of film stores. They jump in there, filmmakers, they do a bunch of stuff, and then, hey, we're
interesting.
Yeah, I love Empire and Full Moon stuff. It's some of the wildest, fun, most ridiculous stuff out there. So
I was glad to see Full Moon had a subscription service. I mean, it's not massive, but
did you sign up for the whole year and get like a bunch of free swag? Because like I got like the Puppet Master box set when I signed up for a year one time.
Did you really? I did not.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have done it. The first thing that came up, they're like, "Oh, hey, it's 7-day free trial and $10 a month, whatever." I don't know. And I'm like, "Sure, man. I'm sitting here doing nothing. That's great." The first thing I see is Puppet Master Remastered or Puppet Remastered. I'm trying to figure out how they did it. And then the Transfers Noir thing came up, and they have some kind of cool editions, remastered, recut, or whatever, of some of those kind of like classic 80s type of. Again, you know, these aren't like, you know, American Film Institute is
Right.
not, you know, it's not honoring these films, but
Yeah, they still got this deal going on, man. If you sign up for a whole year, you get to pick between like a 6 Blu-ray collection of a bunch of stuff, or a Full Moon Legacy collection, or the 12-disc Puppet Master box set. It's $60 a year. And so what I was like, well, the Puppet Master set's like $100 retail.
I was going to say that it's almost like I just bought the set and you just gave me the service for free.
You can even get the Evil Bong Blu-ray collection if you want to choose that.
A buddy of mine bought a DVD for $210, and it was because it was the Evil Dead Necronomicon DVD box set, pleather, kind of creepy. It had never been taken out of the plastic. It was like in the Suncoast video plastic.
Really?
And the bidding went up and up and up. And finally he decided, you know what? I want this thing. So he jumped from like 150 to 220, and all the other bidders went away. And I said, "Are we opening this?" He's like, "No." I said, "Okay, fair enough, man."
All right. Some quick shout outs. Mike Asbell, what's going on? Easy Go Lucky. CJ. Let's see. Marcus, of course. Let's see. Who else in the house? CJ. Becky Bate. Ed Weird. What's going on? What is wrong with this computer? Jeez Louise. All right. Let's see. CJ said hello to Barlord. What's going on, man? Kenneth Bird. Row Collecting. Let's see. I said Easy Go Lucky already. Ryan, what's going on, man? Preston. Said hello. Stevie B. What's going on, buddy? Let's see who else. I think I got everyone.
And I just got it confirmed from our art director. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when I was on the show, I asked, if you've seen Tracy Medina's style, I guess not to minimalize it, but I would call it Bruce Timm-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked for Golden Age Hourman because I thought her style really lended itself to Golden Age characters.
John Stout, what's going on?
Apparently, Mariano just contacted Tracy and we'll be getting that at some point.
All right, so I'm glad you brought that up.
And if it doesn't sell, oh well, I'll find a home for it.
Lorena, what's going on? All right, so got an email from Tracy Medina. So anyone that purchased the commission for Tracy's stuff, that should be coming back to us sometime this week. So I should be able to ship those out probably end of this week, early next week, depending on when it actually gets here. All right. So I want to make that announcement. Robbie's PCP movie night is at 9 p.m. Eastern, right?
That's right.
All right.
Mother.
So, yeah, Mother, a movie I have not seen, never even heard of it. But I like Jennifer Lawrence. But
I'll tell you, it's really the kind of movie where, and this is because I always like to watch movies with my friends. This is almost like the kind of movie you want to watch by yourself. You know, like just maybe like grab a beer and just kind of sit and watch the movie by yourself to sort of.
Interesting.
You know, because sometimes it's almost like the first time I watched that movie, well, I saw it in the theater, but the first time I watched it at home, like I paused it once or twice to just sort of, you know what I mean? Like, catch up to what they're doing a little bit. It's, it's neat. It's really neat. I wasn't surprised when I saw it pop up on PCP Movie Night because, Robbie does a lot of these deep dives, into all the little nooks and crannies of horror. But, it's almost one of those movies that I slightly had forgotten about.
Right.
Until I saw Robbie's thing pop up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Very cool.
So this weekend, I found a local channel which has 21 Jump Street and Miami Vice. So, observation. Miami Vice stood up to the test of time. It still comes across really well. They're goofy stuff, that obviously, Robbie Roach, what's up, man? That is dated, obviously, cell phones, that kind of thing. At 21 Jump Street, not so much. Steve Vendetta, what's up? Did not hold up well. The acting was really bad. Now, here's what's
the acting was really bad.
It was. Johnny Depp was probably the best actor on that show. But Miami Vice.
Grieco?
Huh?
Not Richard Grieco?
I didn't get to that season yet. So, Miami Vice. I did not realize that until I started watching this weekend. They had some big name stars on that show.
That was like a thing to do in the 80s.
Liam Neeson was on it.
Yeah.
Phil Collins. It was weird. I'm like, I don't remember. And I used to watch it every week.
One of Phil Collins' album releases was almost like piggybacked with Miami Vice.
Yeah,
Miami Vice was so cool, man. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. It was so cool, man. So hip at the time.
Who was it? Someone that he was an NYC firefighter. He was a skinny guy, kind of an interesting face, weird looking face.
Steve Buscemi?
Yes, he was in it too. It's amazing you were able to guess that from my very poor.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the list and like John Leguizamo was in it, Bruce Willis, Lawrence Fishburne, Gene Simmons, Ving Rhames.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. I saw that episode. I'm like, get out of here. I couldn't believe
this was sort of, when they did this show, they wanted it. And a lot of guys who do TV say this, but they don't have the tickets or the budget to pull it off. When they did Miami Vice, they tried to kind of make it like a zeitgeisty movie of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're checking in with your crew down in Miami. And you know who's down there? Everybody. It's a party. Everybody's having a blast. It's the cars. It's the music. It's the action. It's the women. You start looking at some of the actresses who appeared in this.
That's right, Preston. You're absolutely right.
Actresses were like pushing each other into traffic to get onto this show because it was,
it was hot. I used to watch it.
It was a thing.
Whenever it was on, we would go into Student Union because they had the big screen TV. Mm-hmm. Me and a bunch of friends, and we watch every episode. I just honestly didn't remember that many stars walking through.
God lived on a boat, man. Other than Quincy, nobody lived on a boat.
It
had an alligator.
It is held up to the test of time. The storylines, the acting. 21 Jump Street, I was amazed at how
they always wrote that the partners had each other's backs. I mean, let's be honest. As that show went on, there was some shady sort of, sketchiness or whatever between the partners, and it always like some beautiful woman dragged one of them down a run.
Right.
They always went to get their boy and come back. And I think that sort of made it very, I sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to break the law either, but I'm not leaving my boy hanging. So, if somebody had to go.
Did anyone watch the movie that they made?
Yeah, I watched the one Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx.
That was not good.
I like that movie because that movie is directed by Michael Mann, who's the creator of the show. And I'm a huge Michael Mann fan. I love it. I love it.
I thought it was a good movie. It was hard I think there's a certain generation that when you grow up watching Miami Vice, it's just too difficult. It's too difficult to see other people in the role. But objectively, I thought that movie was sort of...
If it didn't have the baggage of being a Miami Vice remake, if it was just its own movie with a different title, I think people would have responded to it better.
Oh, I 100%. I think
now, I am noticing that on Amazon, the entire series is available on Blu-ray for $50, and I'm very tempted right now. So
it's held up. It's held up. I watched like a whole afternoon of Miami Vice, and I'm like, man, because I was
like,
like,
like 17,000 Patreon supporters. I'm sure $50 is nothing.
I wish.
So yeah, I was amazed. The one with Lawrence Fishburne was when Tubbs goes to prison undercover.
Yeah.
And that was the one. And Fishburne was not even the lead bad guy. It was another guy.
Morpheus, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, holy crap, that's Fishburne. I couldn't even believe it.
There's a YouTube, maybe it's a YouTube channel, Instagram channel. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a guy who does, like, the gimmick is, do they hold up? And it's not horror, so I don't watch it quite as much.
Right.
But it's like the guy watches The Matrix again, the first movie, The Matrix again, for the very first time. And his comment was, not only was this movie cool, this movie had, like, James Robinson Starman energy. And to me, that just... I had not made that analogy. I loved James Robinson Starman. I loved the original Matrix.
Right.
I did not kind of put those two things together. But he said that's what it reminded me of. He said, I periodically go back and reread Robinson Starman.
Right.
And at least once a year I will sit down. He's like, I don't care about the other Matrix stuff later. But that first movie, and I had to admit, one of the nights I was sick, I couldn't sleep. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I tell the Amazon show next to my bed, put the Matrix on, and I'm watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, either this is still really good, or maybe the 9 different medicines they've given me for being sick is kicking in. But I'm watching it at 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, this is really kind of cool.
Yeah, I was amazed. And Marcus, I did not binge all the seasons because it was on a local channel. So I was at the mercy.
Is it MeTV or something?
No, it's not.
That would have taken you longer than an afternoon anyway.
So. Yeah, exactly.
Guess what? 4 or 5 seasons?
Yeah, at least.
And that's 80 seasons.
So
that means 100.
I've discovered a whole lot of what they call live TV, but their channels we don't get in Philly. It's like digital. I don't know. It just popped up, and I started scanning it, and I saw Miami Vice. I said, "What the hell?"
I tell people a lot of times, if you have a smart TV, particularly Samsung, or if you have Amazon Prime or a Firebox or whatever you're using, you get an inordinate amount. It's all ad driven, but there are channels where the channel is essentially one show that just plays.
Yeah, I got one that's on my Samsung TV that I keep on. Is just the, if I turn the TV on, it's on. It's the Ancient Aliens one.
Yeah, there's an Ancient Aliens one.
There's an Unsolved Mysteries one.
My dog loves, since our road became a little bit busier on Hartford Road, the dog is a little antsy. Plus, she's getting a little bit older now. The dog loves Bob Ross because Bob Ross is real chill, right? There's no screaming on the TV. The painter. He's just like,
I had it on the Bob Ross channel for a while, but I had to stop it because I would just be like reading or something, and I would look up, and then I would be like, man, I just watched Bob Ross for 2 hours, man. I got nothing done.
2 hours. Like we'll go out and the dog will climb into my chair, and she's got like a little blanket or whatever over there, and Bob's on, and he's doing his happy little trees, and the dog she's like so happy. She doesn't care if cars go up and down the street now. And so I said, well, all right, I'm just going to leave. So I leave the house and Bob's on, playing to nobody with the dog. And one day I was gone for like 5 hours. I came zipping back. I didn't want to leave the dog alone all day. She's just still in the chair. She's got her face on her arm, and she's looking. And Bob has got some lady on, and they're painting on a buzzsaw blade or something.
You bring that canvas back, Dad? And my paint?
It's, but that's what I tell people. So if you like a certain show, there's a chance you should check. It might be on a service that you have that you might not even have checked out. There's a Doctor Who channel on Amazon. It is Doctor Who all the time.
All right, so we have to go to our first break, but just so everyone knows, we got new sketch covers, some back issues, some really cool ones. Becky, I saw her in the room. I got a Spawn #1. I know you were buying Spawns. Got some ratios in, and then the new Dynamite books of the week. Powerpuff Girls #9.
Nick will be in here to announce transfers from Dynamite.
DuckTales #4. let's see, coming out Wednesday. Darkwing Duck number 2. I think it's volume 2. Terminator number 6. And Vampirella number 1.
That's a deep cut. That's Steven Bochco out of his mind, man.
I used to watch that when I was a kid, man.
All right. So, you know what I didn't announce? The comment.
We popped out for a minute.
Are we still here?
Sorry. Yeah, we have this new thing we're doing with these scenes. And since y'all weren't here, I didn't have y'all in the next scene. So it took y'all out.
All right. So we will go to our first break. When we get back, we'll start with the books of the night.
And the comics of the week, winner?
Yes, correct.
Comics of the week. Comics of the week. We need like a little thing for it.
Yeah. Talk to Jay. So
that sounds like a Jay and Kyle thing, man. Like,
hang out. We'll be right back.
Order Battle Quest comics at your local comic shop today. FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
We are back. Mr. Nope, what's going on, bud? All right. So, last week's comments winner was Stevie B. I forget why I picked Stevie B. I think he said nice things about me. Anyway, he wins a new champions number 125 ratio, Nicoletta Balderi. So, congrats, Stevie B. All right. And then the giveaway of the night is Deadpool Wolverine number 150 ratio by Greg Capullo. And as always, the hashtag is EXP Monday, all lowercase.
That's a cool giveaway, yo. Greg Capullo cover. That's awesome.
Trying to mix it up a little bit. All right. So then, as always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we got it for $5 for the group. Then we have the DF Mystery Box, 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 sign, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guarantee. And I have permanently lowered the price to $85. So that will be the going price now. We sell for $100. What's up, Johnny Sanchez? All right. Then we have the new sketch covers. First up, we got FF number 1 with Invisible Woman cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. I believe this is somewhat of a collage, but not like the normal ones that you see Mariano do. It's just a retail of $149.99, and we got it for $60.
It's a celebration of Kirby Crackle in the Silver Age.
Yes.
Yeah. Needless to say, I love this one. This one's amazing.
All right.
It's very cool. This is sort of, you know what I mean? We've had like 100 different versions of the Fantastic Four. Like 15, 16 different people have been in the thing, a million costumes. Nothing makes me happier than when we just kind of get the Silver Age version, like the normal costume.
Yeah, well, Mariano's kind of nostalgic about that era, obviously, since he was a young man during that period. Ooh, I said it.
Did that, and that is Bruce Timm style too. That's very cool. Didn't he used to fetch Stanley's coffee or something?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I try not to trigger that because then he tells stories and then eats up so much of your day.
Oh, it was worth it. He did the one thing and he got me a.
You're retired. You have time to listen to his stories. The rest of us, we got stuff to do, man.
He got me a very cool Stanley. I'm trying to remember what it was. Lost Gods? No, I'm trying to remember that. It was signed by Stan. I was like, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So the only one who wants to hear Mariano's stories is John because he has the free time to listen.
I like hearing his stories too, Rex.
I think we have a new. We need
from the man who's not physically here, okay, who can hang up at any moment.
No,
okay.
You know what though? I think that might be a cool sort of, coffee with Mariano. We find like a little thing. And each week we cover like a story.
You sell to him.
And a book or something.
You sell to him. Sorry.
I mean,
not my department.
Idea. And then maybe on the show we offer, like we do a Fantastic Four thing, and then we offer this at the end of the show.
Lyle, yes. John is retired.
I am. I retired in 2019.
So his life consists of movies and more movies.
Was traveling for a while.
Friends.
I enjoyed traveling, but then there's like that 3-ish year interruption. Nobody left their house. Nobody left their neighborhood.
Yeah, that's.
But before that, traveling was nice too.
So and then he comes here on Mondays.
It's like a highlight. This is a 10 poll of the week. Everything kind of
yeah. All right. So next up, we got My Adventures with Superman with Lois and Superman cover sketch by new artist Carl C.K. Kent.
Wait, who is it?
Carl C.K. Kent. I'm not kidding.
That's Jay. Come on. That's just Jay. That's Jay's pseudonym. Jay drew this at Superman.
It is not Jay.
Yeah, but
I can see why you would say that.
I said it so at least half the people will believe it. And Jay will be in there going, no, boss, it's not me. And I'll be like, okay, bud. Let's just leave it there.
Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have tonight for $65.
For a second, I thought this was a The Fortress of Solitude because it's very sort of like white, light
like
blue.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got Justice League, No Justice with Black Canary cover sketch by Christine Danica Lim. Suggested retail of $149.99. And we have this one for $60.
Jay said, I wish I could draw like this.
Then we have Predator versus Black Panther Storm cover sketch by Tony Scott. I like this.
Oh wow.
That doesn't look like a cover sketch. That looks like the book Marvel went with. Like that's the cover.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really good.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. Wow. I love the fact that they just sort of have the vibranium purple as an accent to the back.
Yeah, when I pulled this, put it in a bag and board, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It looks even better close up. All right, and then final one tonight. Vampirella #1 with Vampy cover sketch by Will Torres. This is a Spider-Woman homage. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have it for $65.
I feel like he did another Vampirella Spider-Woman homage. Didn't we have one before he did?
Maybe.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but
yeah, Marcus, I wouldn't be surprised if Naomi Campbell was like the base model that you use a little bit. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Storm, so yeah, you're probably going to pick a supermodel as the starting point, right?
Yeah, I would.
Only Alex Ross can get away with picking up like his neighbor. Everybody else has to use, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, Alex tells his gardener, "Hey, stand over here for a second and hold this shield," and somehow we get Captain America. I'm like, all right, dude.
All right. So now on to the ratios. We have DC and Sonic the Hedgehog #1, 125 ratio by Pablo Collar is 9.6. I got 2 of these, and I have them for $20 each.
When I was going to say, when I was doing my orders for this, I was like confused. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I know I got a really healthy Sonic fan base at my shop, and most shops do. Sonic the Hedgehog is still huge, right? But it's like a Justice League crossover type thing. I didn't know what to do, but I took a gamble and I ordered large on it, and I thought I would be making a terrible mistake. This book is crazy selling at my shop, like everybody. And then, like I said before, the #1 thing that's important is after issue #1 drops, how many people are adding it to their pull list. And it's like every day, it's just people wanting the DC Sonic book. It's crazy. Who saw it coming? I sure didn't, but this is a huge smash hit.
So it is 20 each. I have 2 of them available, and you got it from a horse's mouth. Robbie says it's a hot book. All right, then we have Zatanna #2, 125 ratio by Jamal Campbell. It's a 9.4. And we have this one for 15. All right. And then we have Absolute Flash #1, 125 ratio by Jeff Lemire. It's 9.2. And we have this one for 10.
Love that cover.
And then we have Absolute Batman #6. 125 ratio, John McCrae and John Kalis. It's a 9.6, and we have this one for 20. All right, so let's do a quick Rex cap. All right, so the giveaway of the night is Deadpool Wolverine #1, 1-50 ratio by Greg Capullo. Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher, $40 retail value, and as always, we got it for $5. Then we have the DF mystery box, 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guaranteed, and we've got it at the now permanent price of $85. Then we had FF #1 with Invisible Woman cover sketch by Joe Dubbiato and Mariano Nicieza. It's just a retail $149.99, and we have for $65.
It's like the superhero women from Marvel's 70s collections. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of.
Mark came by and said, "Oh my God, they're all women tonight." Didn't plan it, just worked out that way. So My Adventures with Superman with Lois and Superman cover sketch by Carl C.K. Kent. $149.99 retail, and we've got it for $65. Then we have Justice League No Justice with Black Canary cover sketch by Kirstine Danica Lim. It's just a retail of $149.99, and we've got this for $65.
Have they done a Black Canary book in this kind of pseudo anime light style?
I don't know.
I'm just curious. I was going to say, because that seems like something that there might, Black Canary, the Tokyo Job type thing. I could see that that would work.
All right, then we have Predator versus Black Panther with Storm cover sketch by Tony Scott. I know it's Robbie that usually does it, but I got to make this my pick of the night.
Yeah, that's
just amazing.
And we can debate whether or not Predator can deal with Black Panther. Predator versus Storm is like 3 panels, and he is done. So, you know what I mean? There's a very different power level there between, I'm Wakanda super soldier and I have cool clothes versus, catch this lightning, dude.
All right. Vampirella #1 with Vampy cover sketch by Will Torres. This is Spider-Woman #1, I believe, homage. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have for $65.
See, that's something I would have liked to have seen. Several years ago, before Marvel got a hold of Aliens, Dynamite and Dark Horse did Aliens and Vampirella, and it was very cool. And all I could think of was how cool Alien Predator would have, how cool Vampirella and Predator would have been.
All right, so then we have DC and Sonic the Hedgehog #1, 1:25 ratio by Pablo Collar. It's a 9.6. I have 2 of these, and we have them for $20 each.
And if you haven't read it, go ask your LCS if they've got, because I bet a lot of these LCS places have Aliens Vampirella sitting in a box somewhere. And it's just a very cool read. You know what I mean? It's not like a super value, it's $600 on eBay. No, it's just like a very cool book to read.
All right, and then we have Zatanna #2, 1:25 ratio by Jamal Campbell. It's 9.4, and we have that for $15.
I'd like to see James Gunn do Zatanna for Max. You know what I mean? I know he's kind of got his own projects, but I'd like to see a James Gunn-esque take on, 6 or 8 episodes of Zatanna. That would be cool.
All right, and then we have Absolute Flash #1, 1:25 ratio by Jeff Lemire.
Stop.
It's the 9.2, and we have that for $10. And then Absolute Batman #6, 1:25 ratio, John McCrae and John Kalis. It's 9.6, and we have that for $20.
I mean, we've moved into year 2 of Absolute Batman just basically being printing money, right? I mean, this is...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of anyone who's saying, "Oh, the hype is dying on that." No, I don't know anybody who's, in the business day to day saying that.
Good, Jay.
So real quick before we go to break, I got to fix this last scene. And so I just wanted to warn y'all before I do it, because unfortunately with the scenes, I have to have y'all here to fix them. Mm-hmm. So hold on, just give me just a second.
Does anybody know what Jay just said?
He said just hold on.
Just hold on.
That's the only part I got.
He's like Wilson Phillips. He's telling us to hold on for one more day.
One more day.
We're using these things in StreamYard now called scenes. And it's supposed to be able to...
He just cut himself off. He wasn't in the scene.
I was going to say, my man just cut himself off?
And I have to add my mic in every scene as well, and I keep forgetting that.
Sounds very convenient.
Yeah. Just kind of like that, huh, Robbie?
That kid's what we call sarcasm from Robbie.
Glad it's not my job to do this. I have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but I'll get it. So if anything looks weird, I'm still learning how to do it.
And he driving me. Yeah, man. So, I had a job once. They're no good.
Well, Jay, you tell me when you're ready to go to break.
Or not.
Yeah, we got it now. I got it.
All right. So hang out. When we come back, we'll do the back issues of the night. All right.
And Symphonic Verses, Nocturne's Romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it. Twitch, it's not just what happens when you have too many energy drinks anymore. Check out our content over there, too.
All right, we are back. All right, so the back issues of the night. Here we go. All right, so first up, we got Werewolf by Night number 15.
Nice.
It does have the Marvel value stamp. Oh, Morbius appearance, obviously. It's a 6.0 to a 6.5.
When Dracula Strikes.
And I got it for $30.
Very cool. This is awesome. This is one of my. I love this series.
What is this? Like a 6 maybe? I'm just trying to look from the. Is that an image or is that the book?
What are you talking about?
Just the condition. It's just very cool.
Yeah, it's a 6.0 to a 6.5.
Oh, okay. Did I miss that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is the actual book. When back issues, I don't pull an image off of the internet. I use the actual scan of the book. All right.
It should be a great chance for people because I know my copy of this book is not at a 6.0 to 6.5.
Yeah, I may, if we don't see Big John Spilios here, I may email him with this. I know he's.
I was going to say, is Punisher here? Because,
Well, he likes these horror comics, Werewolf by Night, things like that. So I may email him. All right.
I still think that is an area that is waiting to be mined. Both Marvel and DC have a lot, and I mean a lot, of horror that they did in the 60s, the 70s, into the 80s, and you just don't see a lot of it. DC did a series called I, Vampire, and if you read it, it is a good, and I understand they did something again in the 90s in a character. If you read the I, Vampire story from the 70s, it is a solid read. It really is. And, like, when was the last time anybody even mentioned that? And, of course, Marvel, somebody said Marvel had like 50 different Fear of Night, Tower of Chills, or whatever. It seemed like every few months they had like a different one. And it was just these great horror stories.
All right. So next up, we got Original Sin, Deadpool number 31. First full appearance of Ellie Camacho is a 9.4, and I've got this one for 25. All right, next up we have Rebirth, Harley Quinn number 1, Bulletproof Comics variant. It's the Dell'Otto variant.
Gabrielle Dell'Otto.
And it's 9.4. Man, that looks like what's her face.
I think it looks like what's her name? The wrestler. Is it Alexa Bliss?
Alexa Bliss.
Really? No, I think it looks like what's her name?
If you're gonna say Margot Robbie or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're always certainly somewhat, and I say derivative, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but I think Margot Robbie is so sort of identified with the character that it's almost like hard to do. If you saw Alexa Bliss, she did a Harley Quinn cosplay on Instagram a few years ago,
Right.
and it practically melted WWE Instagram because between the already kind of pseudo creepy bit of her character, it is very, very cool.
All right, next up we got Dark Knight Metals number 2, also Bulletproof Comics variant, Gabrielle Del Otto. It's a 9.4 to a 9.6. We have one available at 25.
All right, y'all, let's all throw in. We're going to buy a van, and we're going to get this airbrushed on the side of it. It's going to be awesome.
100%.
All right, with the bubble window.
Oh, yeah, it's got to have the bubble window or maybe the little thing at the top.
What thing?
They always have like the weird little window at the top to vent all the fumes. Because
It's got to have a little table, some shag carpet, steps to get in, a swivel chair. Nice.
There you go. All right.
We'll put some black lights in there and some black light posters. It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up, we have Amazing Adventures number 15. It is the first appearance of Griffin. It's a 6.0. And we have this one for 30.
Preston wants Dark Knights 2, by the way.
All right, Preston, you got it, buddy.
The Gray Beast era of Amazing Adventures. It's very neat. It's very cool. I found like 4 or 5 of these at a buddy's house, and I read them. And it was just neat where he was like wearing like a rubber mask and trying to hide that he was the Beast, and they still thought he was Hank McCoy. And I forget he worked for some company. It was neat, and it didn't last very long. Because from this area, you almost jump immediately into like Wolfman Perez, Blue Beast, Hawaiian shirt, closing down bars with Wonder Man. But you had like a little bit of an Amazing Adventures run there where it's different. It's a very different kind of take on the Beast.
All right. So this one, I don't know if you have it, Becky, but we've got Spawn number 1 is a 9.4. So it's in great shape. And we have it for 30. All right.
What would you say the most iconic Todd McFarlane cover outside of Hulk 340 and Spider-Man 300 and Spider-Man 1? The top 5 iconic McFarlane covers.
You know what? Part of me, and maybe this is just
all
my
right,
mindset.
You got it, Becky.
Part of me thinks of Spawn number 1 as like his sort of number 1 fastball. I understand people will say it's Spider-Man 301 or whatever, and I wouldn't argue. But when you say Todd McFarlane, this is the cover that pops into my head. Maybe it's because I was sort of head over heels in the Image era or whatever. But this is what I tend to think of.
It was like state-of-the-art coloring, too, by Steve Olaf, I believe, at the time especially. Like, nobody was coloring covers, especially like this. I think it's painted, but I could be wrong on that one.
You got it, Becky. All right. So next up, we got Spider-Man number 1. It's a 9.0. And we have this for 15.
Great Jim Chung cover right there.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have Shogun Warriors number 1.
Oh, we talked about this a while back.
It is a 9.2, and we have this one for 20.
That's dope. I have the whole run of Shogun Warriors.
It's Ray Dean, Dengard Ace, I think. I'm trying to think of the name of the robots.
All right. Then we have a Venom Lethal Protector number 4. It's 9.4. And we have this one for 15. And then we have last back issue book, Howard the Duck, number 12. I remember this cover.
Trapped in a World You Never Made.
It is a 7.0.
Come back. Thank you, Steve.
15. So let's do a quick Rex cap. So we started off with the back issues, Werewolf by Night, number 15. Marvel value stamp in there. Morbius appearance, it's 6.0 to a 6.5. And we have it for 30. Then we have original Sin, Deadpool number 31. First full appearance of Ellie Camacho. It's a 9.4. And we have this for 25. Then we got Rebirth, Harley Quinn number 1. Bulletproof Comics, Gabrielle Del Otto variant. It's 9.4. And we have this one for 20. Then we have Amazing Adventures number 15, first appearance of Griffin. Obviously, the Beast on this one. It is a 6.0. Give Jay a second to switch to pick. There we go. And we have this one for 30.
Why haven't we seen the Griffin in the MCU yet? Maybe that would revitalize the MCU if we had Griffin in there, right?
As always, it depends on who plays the Griffin.
Well, that's always the case.
Right? If they could get the right actor.
John Spilios, what's up, buddy?
He did it. He did. He walked in.
Did I call that or what?
Werewolf by Night. Yeah,
I know John's been collecting it. So John gotcha Spilios on the Werewolf by Night.
You know what that was like?
And Amazing Adventures.
Say his name and he appears.
Yeah, y'all think Spilio's a big Punisher guy, but his big secret is his number one fandom is the Griffin.
Oh, right? Can you imagine?
He's Big been John, how you feeling his whole life.
I know you were under the weather for a bit, so hopefully you're feeling better, bud.
He did, man. He pulled off the Joe Hendry thing. You said his name.
Yeah, right. That works. All right. So where do I leave off? Okay. So then we have Spider-Man number 1. It is a 9.0. And we have that for 15.
You know where I think you might see the Griffin? You could see the Griffin in like a Spider-Man thing. Like a Sony Spider-Man thing. You could see.
If Sony hadn't quit already because of, all the flops in a row, they probably would have given Griffin his own movie.
Can you imagine? But as an anti-hero, he's not really a villain.
So Stevie B has an interesting question. I don't think I've ever seen Perillo do interiors, but I might be wrong.
I've never seen them do interiors myself.
What about Bjorn Barentz?
I've never seen Perillo do interiors for Dynamite. I mean, he might have done them elsewhere, and I just didn't see it. But as long as I've seen his work here, it's always been covers.
All right. So then we have Shogun Warriors number 1. It's 9.2.
A guy like Bjorn Barentz, I don't know how long it would take him to do a book, like a 22-page book or whatever, man.
Yeah. So it's 9.2, and we have this one for 20. Then we have Venom Lethal Protector number 4. It's 9.4, and we have this one for 15.
It's one of my favorite series. This series was formative for me, 100%. I still love Lethal Protector.
All right. So then we have Howard the Duck number 12. It's a 7.0, and we have this one for 15. The Howard the Duck is a 7.0, Robbie. So let me know if it's something you want, bud. All right. So I didn't watch a show, but I know a lot of people tuned in on Friday for the kind of pop-up, sort of kind of pop-up, the kind of a fundraiser for Peter David.
Yeah.
So I went off kind of on tangent about that last show, was it? Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. But go ahead, you were going to say something.
No, go ahead. That's way more important.
So Jay, do we still have the link to the crowdfunder? I don't know if that's still going on.
Yes, sir. Give me just a second to find it.
Take your time. So for those of you, I can't, Robbie, this is a consignment deal. So I really don't have a lot of room. It's not an actual Dynamite product, a DF product. So it is on consignment basis. So I'm giving these prices. All right. So I don't have much movement on this one. Sorry about that, Robbie. So Peter David is experiencing health issues. Something is going on with his Medicare or something. It's been cut off.
I saw a comment, and I just a little bit, Peter. Apparently, he's being taken care of. I don't know if it's his daughter or his spouse or whatever, but in a lot of these cases, what you do is you kind of sign a document saying, there's Medicaid, whatever, Medicare. The person who's taking care of him should not be emptying out his, or in this case, her wallet and bank account. And that's the position that they've been put in because whatever was cut, canceled, the things are happening so fast and furious. I don't know if people can even keep track of, do we still have a bank that issues money? Like, I don't even know if we have a Treasury Department anymore. But the point is, they just cut off the money. So the guy's dealing with a life-threatening illness, and the hospital, being the hospital, just wants their money.
Yeah, Robbie, I can help you out with shipping, buddy.
You know what I mean? And so the choice is the person you're taking care of is either left to the winds of fate, hopefully it works out somehow, or they have to start covering the cost, especially if it's a loved one, family member, friend, whatever. And I'll tell you right now, when the hospital starts telling you, hey, come on in, it's $3,200, not too many, people can deal with that for too long.
Robbie Roach, just confirm with me that you want the book. All right. I don't want to jot your name down unless you confirm it. So yeah, Peter David, obviously the medical bills are starting to back up as they're coming in fast and furious. All right, you got it, Robbie. After what happened to me last year, I realized with insurance just how ridiculous the cost can be for healthcare in this country. So if you can help him, he has been a prolific, legendary writer in the comic sphere. He's written books, screenplays. It's just really sad that after a lifetime of work in the comic book industry, that he's kind of forced into this situation. And it's really kind of sad. So anyway, if you can help out, that'd be awesome. Jay put the GoFundMe link up in the chat. If you can, great. Certainly everyone has their own issues. I just find it rather sad, that someone whose name that I know has been tied to the comic industry for as long as he had, and his Hulk run was probably one of the best.
I forget who it was, but they actually put in Comics Journal way back when Jack Kirby had to basically rummage sale everything he owned at one point in his career to sort of pay for medical bills and pay for these other things. Meanwhile, Stan Lee is living in $1 million house in California. And I'm not saying Stan doesn't deserve his money, but one person should not be. At one point, I think Jack was in like a condo in North Carolina or something. And, his bills were just monumental. And the guy is the architect of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
You look at that and you can blame whether you want to blame Marvel through the years. Stan Lee certainly can take some of the guilt on that. But the way the entire industry works has not been fair to creators. It was one thing in the 80s and 90s. I understand. Marvel's getting ready to go under. They get bought out by a cosmetic company, Revlon.
Was it Revlon for a while?
I understand. But now with the MCU and everything that this brought in, how many people have gotten rich off of this? And the fact that nothing goes back to the original creators is beyond ridiculous.
Well, for how long when you got your check, and a lot of the old creators would tell these stories at cons, you would have to sign in the days of checks. I know probably everybody under 30 is like, what is this old man talking about? But in the days when you got paid with a physical check, you would have to sign the back of it before depositing it. Mm-hmm. And as like an addendum or whatever you want to call it, when you sign the back of that check, you were essentially abrogating any kind of claim or right to compensation beyond, I know you created Spider-Man, but here's $150, kid, get lost. Steve Ditko talked about this a lot. when he still talked to people. And even Alan Moore, and let's be honest, that guy's about as close to Gandalf as we're going to get in this life. He is, wizards are quick to temper. Don't mess with him. Even he has gone on record as saying one of the reasons he doesn't miss the comic book industry is that the people who power the industry make the least. And the people who do the least make the most. And that just offends him on like a basic sort of
I don't blame him.
level. And let's put it this way. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Alan Moore. Alan Moore can be catchy, depending on what he's asked. But in this particular case, he's 100% right. Now, in some cases, some creators like Alan Moore, he doesn't want anyone doing anything that he's done. So essentially, when other people are doing The Watchmen, that's not going to fly.
Right.
And he's never been particularly kind to people who've come after him on Swamp Thing. And sure, maybe his run on Swamp Thing was the best ever. I'm not going to argue that. But that's just, certain things you can discuss and debate.
Right.
Compensation? No, that's black and white. You owe these people a tremendous amount of money. And in a lot of cases, credit. I can sum this up in 2 words. Bill Finger. Bob Kane catching money and fame for decades. And it was a well-known secret that, Bob Kane had like a guy in a red trapeze suit and bright yellow wings or something. Then Bill Finger comes along, and we get Batman. How is that guy not getting any credit until, from what I understand, his credit was posthumous. I'm not a big fan of posthumous like
that. And like all those Marvel comics used to always say Stan Lee presents and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And it was just a few years ago that Kirby then now is credited as a creator on so many of the books. And it's nice to get the credit, but at the same time, it does suck. And you're right, John. Like when they signed those checks, they were signing away the rights to that work. Legally speaking, in legal terms, Marvel is the writer. Marvel is the artist. Marvel is the creative team of all those books they've published. So legally speaking, they don't owe them anything, but it's still, as we all know, pretty crappy.
It's a moral and ethical thing. And I think now when people say certain creators are difficult, well, yes, certain creators are difficult. And again, I'll reference Alan Moore. Respectfully reference Alan Moore however, there's a lot of creators that have a reason to sort of have their mind on their money and their money on their mind because, nobody wants to wind up, a guy like Steve Ditko's living in like a 2-room apartment. And without him, there's really no Spider-Man or Doctor Strange.
So
2 characters, which as far as I know now, they put a lot of money in Disney's pocket. And Roy Thomas. There was a time where Roy Thomas was almost a little bit of the voice of his generation, right? He was a throwback, trying to inject some Silver Age energy into what was becoming the Marvel Age. Did it at DC, some very cool stuff. Then somewhere along the line, Roy Thomas is like this close to taking credit for, Dick Tracy from Chester Gould. And I'm like, dude, take a break, man. I understand you're a lonely old man pushing 80 and you don't want to be forgotten in the industry, but he labors to get his name on things that, dude, have you even read a Wolverine book? Why are you commenting that, you should be on the Deadpool Wolverine credits? Come on now.
Well, as I say, I think Image, what they did was significant change, but you see things went all the way back to the way it was before. Hey, Amy.
Hey.
Hey, Amy.
Oh. Hey. I told Robbie I'd pop in.
Oh, I was just thinking, did not
Hi, Amy.
Well, they still need to do that. Yes, some people still keep forgetting, but want to say hi to Robbie, say hi to everybody. Fill out your forms. Like the video. Just things I hope you guys already knew, but for some reason you still need a reminder. It's just saying. Just saying.
So that was the Daily Scold by Amy.
Apparently, they still need it, Rex. People still
you've
forget.
Been forewarned.
People still forget.
You bring it on yourself, man. If your book arrives in the form of confetti because you didn't fill out the sheet, well, I'm not going to feel bad.
That won't happen. But you might get a nasty email from me. But
it's the middle finger emoji. Oh, apparently I'm going to fill out my stuff
with your invoice.
Hope you guys keep having a great show.
Thank you.
Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, there you go. Smart, Preston. So
I know, Preston. Seriously, she came in here and the temperature dropped, man. I don't know what you guys did, but
getting chill.
Don't put me on the firing line.
So I think what the guys did at Image was a phenomenal thing. What they did for Kirby at that time was also great.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the system snapped right back.
It did, and they can only do so much, right? They can only do, you know what I mean? There's only so much they can do. I always compare it a little bit to pro wrestling. These guys create multi-generational memories for people, families, parents, children, siblings, whatever. And more often than not, these performers, you know, they kind of finish their lives on, you know, public assistance, you know, fake legs, they can't walk. You know what I mean?
Quite sad.
Well, people are always like, oh, Ric Flair keeps making money. Ric Flair is, by his own admission, has made and lost 4 fortunes, maybe more. Not everybody is Ric Flair. There are tons of guys, and I hate to put it this way, there are tons of guys living in trailer parks.
What was that movie?
You know, taking the community shuttle bus.
What was that movie that just came out about that family of wrestlers?
Iron Claw.
Yeah. That was a good movie. I'm not really a wrestling fan.
That's a very good movie.
Yeah, but when I watched that movie, that was an engaging kind of movie. Taught me some things I did not know about the wrestling circuit. So,
of those brothers that you see, the only one
that
who
was tragic.
Sort of was able to live his life was Kevin Von Erich. I understand that guy lives in Hawaii now, businessman. I believe he has a line of cigars or something. Beautiful home. His sons wrestle. So that's sort of a happy ending. Pretty much everyone else, not to be harsh, is dead.
So Jay, you haven't seen it yet? It's a good watch. I
was a huge, Texas Tornado fan as a kid. And just learning about what happened to that family, like even before the wrestling, they had a 5-year-old older brother that died. He died at 5 years old from a freak like electrocution accident. Like it's just a sad thing. Like, and I'm a big baby, man.
It is. It is.
There's like a part of Texas Von Erich thing where like he's there. They were like their Justice League. They were like their, you could say America's Team Dallas Cowboys. I wouldn't argue about that. But in the wrestling world, world-class championship wrestling, world-class championship wrestling is analogous with ECW in that they did things which were groundbreaking, and then other people copied them because they were so good. But they were the first to do certain things. And when you see, again, a lot of these people are, sure, some are okay. Most of them aren't.
Yeah.
Most of them are, like a guy like Abdullah the Butcher wrestled on 4 continents, millions of tickets. And from what I understand, the guy lives in a house that's been condemned in, I want to say, Mississippi, but I'm not 100% sure that's right. And he's got a caretaker that comes in, and she tries to bring him food and stuff, and the guy can't even stand up. And
it's like, we're talking about Mother tonight, the Aronofsky film, but he did The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, right?
Yes.
And The Wrestler is a very brutally honest portrayal of what happens to most wrestlers,
100%. The living in the van, you know what I mean? The self-medicating guy. There were guys
going to little indie shows for like a couple $100, performing in front of like 150 people and stuff like that, and just beating your body. Yeah, I know that everybody likes to be like, wrestling is fake and all that stuff. Well, it's predetermined, but
Yeah,
every bump they're taking hurts. For instance, if you don't think it's somewhat real, watch John Moxley take a plank of wood and some nails to the back last week, dude. Like,
was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
I think it was last week, man. Like, what in the heck?
The match to remove spikes that were kind of like deep into his back. They literally just stopped the match. And
to me, it's kind of like being a stunt man. Okay, you know, your character is supposed to be set on fire. Okay, now, do we really want that person to burn? No. But could something happen? Yes. You know, could someone get
set on fire multiple occasions?
So I appreciate that.
Kane got set on fire. Yeah, Foley got thrown off the top of the Hell in the Cell, and like Undertaker thought, I just killed this man, dude.
He said that. The guy who's the Undertaker said in multiple podcasts, I think I killed Mick. He's like, it's not funny. He's like, Mick went through the cage, and that's a long, long drop. That's not like, oh, it's just 6 feet. No, man. If you've been to a wrestling match and you've been down on the floor and you look up at the cage,
yeah,
that's like being on the second
Alberto,
floor.
you're right, too. I dare anybody who thinks wrestling is quote-unquote fake go through a table. You remember when Hardcore Holly got gashed by the table? Oh my goodness, man.
If it's fake, these people still wouldn't have scars. If it's fake, they wouldn't have artificial hips and knees, and they can't open a can of soda because they've broken their fingers so many times. If somebody has not seen wrestling and says it's fake, I give them the pass because they quite literally don't know what they're talking about. It would be like me opining on physics. Like, dude, what are you doing?
I think Robbie.
If somebody sees wrestling and says it's fake, you've kind of told me all I
I kind of think Robbie puts it best. It's predetermined.
Yes.
Yeah, like the NFL.
100% the NFL is wrong.
Spoken like a true Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm sorry things are going so bad for you. I'm sorry your last Super Bowl was older than my daughter.
It's all right. Me and some buddies were talking, and my buddy's a Steelers fan, and they were riding on me about the Cowboys. And my one buddy, who's a Vikings fan, goes, "Hey, man, you ain't got nothing to talk about. The Steelers, y'all are about to be the Cowboys because y'all keep riding on what you were."
Well, you hear about that? They picked up Jameis Winston.
Oh, did they? Because I heard that maybe Aaron Rodgers was going to be.
That's where that's what I heard the rumor is. Rodgers still has not made pulled the trigger, but I don't know where else he's gonna go this season.
He's got to go to a team that just needs somebody to take snaps for a year, right? Because the thing is, nobody wants. I think the reputation is he's pretty difficult to work with, and yeah, you see how it worked out for the Jets, right?
Yeah,
the poor Jets need to stop taking near retired quarterbacks from Green Bay. They need to stop doing that.
The Jets are a team where quarterbacks go to screw up their career. Okay,
their last best quarterback went to Mongo to save us all, and you never saw the Jets have a good quarterback again.
Who?
Flash Gordon.
He wasn't any good at all. He was a better actor than he was a football player, man. I love that movie, Flash Gordon. Soundtrack by Queen, excellent. Yeah, good point, Alberto. Yeah, the Jets are just somewhere that screws up quarterbacks. I don't know, man. Yeah, I know, Jay. Yeah, I know.
All right, maybe we should get back to it then.
We have 7 more scenes to get through. So
yeah, that's
well, we got distracted by defending wrestling and defending creator rights in comic books, right?
It's typical Monday. All right.
It's very important information that we were discussing.
So, all right. So before we go to our last and final break, let's get through some Dynamite books.
Tonight's on, but I digress with Robbie.
So Powerpuff Girls number 9 is out on Wednesday. Cover A by Paulina Ganicho. And we have that at cover price. Cover B by Alessandro Rinaldi. Also a cover. Cover C by Cat Staggs. Also cover price. Cover D by Pasquale Corlano. Cover price. Cover E 110 ratio by Quilano Virgin variant, and we have that for 10. Cover F, the 110 ratio Cat Stags Virgin, and we have that for 10 as well. Then
Alberto, I feel the same way too, and I've seen these things a little bit. I always see them a week or two beforehand. When you said number 9, I'm like, that can't be right.
I just read off what they give me. All right, so cover number 9, cover G, the 110 ratio by Rinaldi Virgin variant, and we have that for 10. And then cover H, the 110 ratio by Ganicho Virgin variant, and we have that for 10. All right,
Did
so
you see
Corey,
that from 9B?
9B. You got it, Corey. B, Corey.
Although I can't help but wonder what comes next. I mean, I know a little bit of what's coming next, but I'm thinking of like what the next big announcements are at Comic-Con.
Don't ask me. They never tell me. All right, so then next
No,
up,
the last time I had to tell you when I found out about King Kong is I blundered into his office while he was on the phone. I remember I said, we're doing King Kong. And you're like, what?
See, I get most of the info from you.
I just blundered it out. I was like, hey, what's going on, man?
All right. So then we got DuckTales number 4 is out on Wednesday. It's cover A by Ivan Bigarella. We had that at cover price. Cover B by Francesco Tomaselli. And we have that at cover as well. Then DuckTales number 4, cover C, Carlo Loro variant. Have that at cover price. Then we have cover D, the Alan Qua variant. We have that at cover price as well. Then we've got cover E, Tommaso Ronda variant. And we have that at cover price of $4.99. Then cover F, the Bigarella Virgin variant. And we have that at $50. And then cover G, 110 ratio Ivan Bigarella foil variant. We have that for $10. Then cover H, the 1-in-15 Bigarella foil virgin variant, and we have that for $15.
Well, the Disney people love Dynamite now. They've gotten so much stuff. Hercules, they've got villains, they got DuckTales, they got Darkwing Duck. It's just this endless sort of...
All right, so then we have cover I, 120 ratio by Rhonda Virgin variant, and we have that for $20.
Still got Green Hornet.
And then cover J, the 125 ratio Alan Qua Virgin variant, we had that for $25. Then cover K, 130 Loro Virgin, and we have that for $30. Then cover 4B as well. You got it. Hold on, Corey. Let me get the page. 4B, Corey. Got you, Corey. All right. And then we got cover L, 1-in-40 ratio by Francesco Tomaselli. And we have that for $40. All right. And then we will move to Darkwing Duck is next up. Got a lot of versions of Vampy tonight. Interesting. All right.
Good. She pays the bills. We should.
All right. Darkwing Duck number 2. I think this is volume 2. Cover A by Tad Stones, and we have that at cover price.
It's the color on this the color on this cover.
All right. And then we got cover B by Mark Bagley. And we have that at cover price.
Preston, Nick does not have low standards. Nick goes to quality steakhouses. I saw somebody said about Nick and steakhouses.
Yeah.
Nick doesn't go to Outback, man.
Nick finally liked one of my steak pictures. I was very, very happy. Joe Corallo actually had to text me to be like, dude, Nick just liked one of your steak photos.
All right. So cover C, the Rose Stein variant. We have that at cover price. Cover D, Nicoletta Balderi variant. Have that at cover price. Cover E, Ciro Cangialosi variant. Have that at cover price as well. Then cover G, the Tad Soanes Virgin variant, and we have that for $50. Then cover H, 1:10 ratio Cangialosi black and white variant, and we have that for $10. Yeah, Preston, you are correct. There are no more Sizzlers in this area. Is there, John?
No. Sizzler, Ponderosa, all that stuff is gone. Even whatchamacallit's gone now.
Where?
I'm trying to think. We still have Outback.
Texas Roadhouse? This one here. Cherry Hill.
Longhorn, maybe? I'm trying to think of
Texas Roadhouse, that cinnamon butter and them rolls. That's some good stuff, man.
There's a Texas Roadhouse south of here, and that's very popular.
No, there is a Longhorn. Isn't there one in? That's the one I'm thinking of in Cherry Hill.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, the one on the opposite side of the mall, right before the circle.
Oh,
you know what? I forget which one that is. I ate there during the pandemic because they were all giving out great deals. You know, you drive up and you wait until they give it to you.
Steak and Ale, that's a callback.
Steak and Ale.
Steak and Ale is a callback. That's a ground round.
A ground round, steak and ale.
Yeah,
remember this one? York Steakhouse. They were in the York Steakhouse. They were in the mall. Yeah. Yeah, that Charlie's. Is that still in Maple Shade?
Charlie Brown's?
Yeah, Charlie Brown's.
I think they're not in Maple Shade. I think they're like a little further out now by Burlington or something.
I remember the good old days, man. Get a nice cheap steak.
I just wanted Woodbury.
I don't know.
See, that's something I could never eat cheap. I could never eat steak cheap. Cheap burgers, something like that is fine. If I'm having a steak, I want it to be good. But if you say, hey, look, we're going to McDonald's, well, not McDonald's, but, if we're going to a diner, that's fine too. There's certain things I won't sort of, when people are like, oh, there's a $6.99 special.
Yeah, TJ, you're right. I used to love those. It was like a treat my mom would take us. Charlie's Place in PA. Yeah, all those places are gone now, man. That's weird.
Well, it becomes very expensive.
I guess after a certain point.
You have two kinds of steakhouses now. Corporate steakhouses, or you have places like I like to go to, like the Franklinville Inn. But that's a lot of money.
It is.
Or, you go over to Primal in Cape May. You stay overnight because it's such a far drive.
Yeah.
And, they're bringing you 42-ounce prime rib. I'm probably not driving back from that.
I don't know which Charlie Brown's you went to, Preston.
Oh my God! Yeah, are you sure?
Ones I went to, with the ones I went to, the waitress, forget the collars. She looked like she was 2 days away from collecting social security.
Yeah, my Charlie Brown's recollections are,
Yeah, not same ones you have, Preston.
So you tell me that your Charlie Brown's had like the staff of an IHOP? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
The IHOP waitresses were actually hot in comparison.
They were younger. They were only in their 60s.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take our last and final break. When we come back, we'll finish the Dynamite books.
Oh, they got a ton of stuff they have to buy.
Yeah.
So get those credit cards ready. Tough.
So hang out. We'll be right back.
The limit is the sky with no glass ceiling. But if the shoe fits, feel free to walk up in it. You can catch me in the sky with no flight attendants, or either in the coupe, but the roof is not attended. I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back. I just just go forward. I just go forward. I just go forward. I just go forward. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. I just ignore it. I just ignore it. I just ignore it. I just ignore it. Rap hitting, I button up Benjamin. I'm not like them, my coffers cut different. For those that are listening, please know that I never backpedal, nah, never that. I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back. I just go forward, I just go forward, I just go forward, I just go forward. I don't hear that, I don't hear that, I don't hear that, I don't hear that. I just ignore it, I just ignore it, I just ignore it, I just ignore it. I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com. In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, that'd be really great. Thanks.
How much was that? It was 4 pounds of prime rib.
All right, we're back. All right, so continuing with Darkwing Duck number 2, we got cover I, 1:10 ratio by Mark Bagley, black and white variant, and we had that for 10. Cover J, 1:10 ratio Balderi version variant, we had that for 10.
I see that Preston Morton's does a great job. We have a Morton's in Atlantic City. There's another Morton's in Hoboken, right by the river. They do a tremendous job there. You know, Ruth's Chris is another one. You know, it's not cheap.
No, it's not. All right, cover K, the 1/15 Ciro Cangialosi black and white version, and we had that for 15. And then we have cover L, 1:15 ratio, the Bagley black and white version variant, have that for 15. Cover M, the 1:15 Rose Stein version. We had that for 15. Cover N, the 120 Ciro Cangialosi version variant. We had that for 20. Cover O, the 1:20 ratio Mark Bagley version. And we had that for 20. Then also coming out Wednesday is Terminator number 6. Cover A by Declan Shalvey. And had that at cover price.
Oh, that's so gnarly cool. That's a great cover.
Isn't it?
All right. Then we got cover B by Edwin Galman. And we have that at cover as well. Then cover C by Cat Staggs. Also cover price. Cover D by David Cousins. And we have that at cover price. Then we have cover E by Declan Shalvey. It's the foil version. And we have that for $9.99. All right. And then cover F by Declan Shalvey, foil version. We have that for $29.99. Then we have cover P by Alex Ross, Burning Earth Icon variant. And we have that cover price.
Yikes.
That'll be on the other side of the van, y'all. Right? How about that?
Yeah, I was going to say it.
Cover H, the 1:10 ratio Galman foil variant. We have that for 10. Cover I, the 110 Declan Shalvey black and white variant. And we have that for 10. Then we have cover J, the 110 Cat Stags Virgin variant, and we have that for 10. Then we have cover K, the 1 in 15 Edwin Gallimond foil Virgin. And we have that for 15. Then cover L, the 1 in 15 Declan Shalvey black and white Virgin variant.
Someone's more disturbing in black and white.
It is, isn't it?
You know what I mean? I mean, I know I'm a black and white fan, but it's almost slightly more disturbing when you can see the line art. Ooh.
All right. Cover M, the 1 in 15 David Cousins Virgin. We have that for 15. Cover N, the 120 Edwin Gallimond Virgin variant, and we have that for 20. Then we have cover O, the 120 Declan Shalvey Virgin variant, have that for 20. Then cover Q, the 1 in 5 Alex Ross Burning Earth Icon foil variant, and we have that for 5. Cover R, the 1 in 7 Alex Ross Burning Earth Icon foil Virgin variant, and we have that for 7.
Is that the other room? I have to go see this in a foil. That's gotta be killer in foil.
Oh, so John's Castle's Corner will probably be back tomorrow or Wednesday. Definitely keep an eye out for that. All right. Then cover S, the 1 in 11 Alex Ross Burning Earth Icon Virgin variant, and we have that for 11. All right, now on to Vampirella. All right, so Vampirella, cover A by number 1 by Lucio Perillo. We have that at cover price. Cover B by Greg Land, and we have that at cover as well. And then cover C by Mark Spears, also at cover price.
Great cover, Mark. Excellent job on those collars.
And then cover D by Elias Chatzoutis. And then we have that at cover price as well. Then cover E, the cosplay variant, Terminator B. Gotcha, Becky. Terminator B.
Love the fact that Rachel Holland is recognized as Vampirella at most of the shows that she goes to. She's put a lot of effort into bringing Vampirella to life over the years, and I'm glad to see her sort of, getting her due.
Right. All right, cover F. It's a Greg Land foil variant, and we have that for $9.99. Cover G by Greg Land foil variant, Virgin variant, have that for $29.99. Then we have cover H, the blank authentics variant.
Yeah, Rachel popped up with Triple B. Like another Joe entry named Triple B immediately appears when Rachel's on. Oh, Triple B was also one of the first people in his unboxing videos to point out that, cosplayers are creators and, bring another dimension to the process. And,
it's a good point.
Rachel Holland in particular sort of, I think, and I say this in a, a non-objectifying way, but I think moving forward, you will see more cosplayers really kind of entrench themselves in the subject matter like Rachel does.
Right.
I mean, I've literally had her text me in the middle of the night, my time, she's out on the West Coast, to ask questions about something from like a Warren magazine story from like the 1970s. She asked me something once about a Harris story that Tom Snigowski wrote. And I said to her, you want to hold on for a second? I'll text Tom. And I got the answer for her for Tom. And she said, did you actually just text Tom? I'm like, yeah, I do that sometimes. But that's sort of like the, like the in-depth sort of, like right. to not just put a costume on and stand there while people take pictures.
All right, cover I, the Lucio Perillo Risque variant. We had that for 10.
Man, wait till this gets unboxed in Triple B show.
Cover K, the Perio Virgin variant, and we have that for $50. Then cover W, the Perio Foil variant, and we have that for $9.99. Cover X, the Perio Foil Virgin variant, and we have that for $29.99. Then cover Y, the Mark Spears Foil variant, and we have that for $9.99. Then we have cover ZA. It's the Perio Ultraviolet variant for cover price. Okay, so let's see. Easy Go Lucky, 2 white blanks. If it hasn't shipped easy, yes, we should be able to, buddy. All right, so hold on. You need 2 vampy white blanks. Let's see. Which one was the blanks? Oh, there it is. Got cheesy. And then cover ZB, Mark Spears purple variant at cover price. Then ZC, the red blanks authentic variant at cover price. So let me know if you want the red ones, easy. And then cover Z, the Mark Spears foil virgin variant for $29. Cover L, the 110 ratio J Anacletta variant for $10. Then cover M, 110 cosplay virgin variant. And then cover N, the 110 ratio Elias Chatzutis foil variant for $10. Then cover O, the 1:15 ratio Anacletta black and white variant. We have that for $15. B, you want to find L, you got a triple B. Gotcha, bud. All right, easy go lucky.
Stevie B, that's funny.
Gotcha, easy. Preston wants L as well. Gotcha, Preston. All right, got you guys. All right, cover P, the 1:15 ratio Chatzutis foil virgin variant for $15. Cover Q, the 1:15 Anacletta black and white virgin variant for $15. Cover R at 120 Elias Chatzutis virgin variant for $20. Cover S, the 120 Mark Spears virgin. We have that for $20.
Stop putting trade dress on Mark Spears' work, man. It's just taking up space.
Not my call. Cover T, 120 Greg Land black and white virgin variant for $20. Cover U, the 125 ratio Anacletta virgin for $25. Cover V, the 125 Greg Land virgin variant for $25. Cover ZD, the 1/7 Chatzutis black and white variant for $7. Cover ZE, the 110 Perio ultraviolet virgin for $10. Cover ZF, the 110 Mark Spears red variant. 10. CG, the 1:15 Mark Spears purple virgin variant for $15. All right. So John, you're claiming all the Mark Spears. Okay. That's going to take me a second, Big John.
Doesn't Robbie just have them at his house? No. Mark drives by, drops them all.
Hold on. Let me go back and show it on this one.
Yeah, I occasionally call in favors for Mark. Hey, man, I need that Frankenstein Friday the 13th video game homage. Now, Mark's a cool dude, man. He's always hooking me up, and he's always really good to LCSs, especially.
See, and I think that we've talked about this a little bit, but I think in the business, this is kind of the thing. Not to just like leverage Robbie's friendship with Mark, but that's the kind of thing that is going to really be the difference maker moving forward. Local creators, the LCS relationship, kind of bringing back that personalization of, especially Marvel and DC being owned by like mega corporations or whatever. I think it means a lot when you can have, local guy, throw the book, signs, whatever, stop in, says hello. That just means a lot to people. And it makes them, not to be unkind, but it makes them continue to want to, it makes them want to continue in the hobby.
All right. So next 4, 5 are Mark Spears as well, Big John. So we're going to send you the invoice. If there's any ones you don't want, let us know tomorrow. All right, bud? Because there's a lot here. ZH, the 120 Noir variant.
That's sharp. I really like that.
CI, the 125 Mark Spears Emerald variant. And we had that for 25.
Hey, John, that's your cover right there, buddy.
I was looking at this a little bit earlier when we went on break, and I thought to myself, I've said it before, I don't remember all these green covers before I started coming to the show.
All right, and then ZJ 130 Mark Spears Noir Virgin variant.
Oh, that's very cool. This I didn't see. I was too busy staring at the green one before.
Then cover ZK, the 1 in 40 Mark Spears Red Virgin variant.
Everyone gets a Spears cover.
And then ZL, the 1 in 50 Mark Spears Emerald Virgin variant. All right, so Big John Spilios, we'll put all this on the invoice, and then you tell us if there's anything you don't want.
So we have, 22 variants for Vampirella?
I'm not sure.
And half of them are Mark Spears.
Yeah, I don't expect.
You're doing heavy lifting.
So, yeah. So, Big John, I can probably, you can watch the rewind for all the covers if you want. And if there's anything you don't want, it's totally cool. Just let me know. All right, Big John? Other than that, that is all the books. And I will have the new Dynamite books of the week on Wednesday's show as well. So I'm not going to do a Rex Cap. So we got Robbie at 9. And the movie of the 90 is, what was it again?
Mother,
with Jennifer Lawrence from 2017.
There you go.
Very interesting film that everybody should check out, I think.
Definitely check it out. Jay, is there anything on the PCP or not on the PCP, the EXP after the PCP show?
Yes, sir. After you get done watching, I haven't seen this movie either, but it's always fun watching Robbie and whoever he's got with him talking about movies. Come back to the EXP at, let me find my little, at 10 East, or I'm sorry, 11 Eastern, 10 Central, for kind of a different Best Coast comic show. They're actually going to be doing a sales show.
Oh, all right. I was just saying that's different.
And this is what time?
This is at 11 Eastern, 10 Central.
There you go.
Castle, that's very kind of you, my friend. Thank you. I'll break up the set, though. He wanted me to have the green cover of all
John.
Yeah.
All right, you got it, Big John.
Doesn't he need a complete set? He needs the complete set bound.
Yeah, John, don't give anything to John Cole. He'll just grab one that's out here. So you said you keep.
No, I appreciate the generosity, but I don't want to be
fair
missing one, And he'll be at a show, and somebody will be like, "You're aware there was a green one, right?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, I know."
I would rather go to MegaCon and have you come, and Big John can buy some beer.
When is MegaCon? We already had MegaCon.
It just passed, yeah.
Yeah, it just passed, but next year is back. It's back in March because it used to be in March. For the last 2 years, it's been in February, so now it's back into March.
All right, cool. So maybe who knows? It's a year from now. We'll see what happens.
We can take the Dynamite RV down. I'm sure nobody will notice it missing from the parking lot.
There is. What Dynamite RV are you talking about? We'll have an RV.
The one with the absolute, or the one with the death metal Wonder Woman airbrush and the heavy metal chick airbrush.
I was
and
just
the
saying,
Terminator.
Terminator's on one side.
That only exists in you two guys' mind.
We can make it happen in a year.
The last time we had an RV here was when Comics with Bueller, Travis came to visit us. That was the last time. Okay. There is no RV. There is no Dynamite RV, Preston. Don't listen to these guys. Okay. That's how you get bad information when you listen to these two guys.
Don't believe everything you hear on the
I
internet.
haven't been to Florida in a while, though. It's been a couple years.
Maybe next year. MegaCon. I'm looking at the pics that Robbie takes of him and Big John Spilios.
The con is where at
This
the
year with
convention
Travis.
center, Robbie?
What's that?
The con is where at the convention center?
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
right there on International Boulevard or whatever.
It's right there on International Drive or whatever, right?
Who
Yeah,
cares?
International Drive. Super fun time, man. There's a Twin Peaks there. There's a Bahama Breeze there.
He
Yeah,
spent
the
like
con's
one
going
day
on
at the
too, but
con. You spent one day at the con. You spent the rest of his time at Bahama
not even
Breeze.
a day, dude. I was there like 3 hours tops.
See?
For over the whole week.
Well, dude, when I go to Comic-Con in San Diego, everyone's like, you're there all day. No, I'm not. I'm lucky if I'm awake, showered and shaved, and walking by noon. Because I get to the con, I do a few things, panels. I mean, the Dynamite panel I always go to. But other than that, I'm just kind of wandering around dealer floor, do some panels, and usually have like a standing reservation at Lou and Mickey's at like 6. And that goes from like 6 to 11 or 12.
So, Robbie, you are going to Heroes Con?
I will be at Heroes Con this year. Greatest con out there. Orlando's like a vacation party spot. You know, I like going down there and just hanging out with Bueller and Brittany and John and our buddy Nestor and my buddy Kevin. But Heroes, I actually go and I'm at the con all day long, just talking and schmoozing with creators.
To Claremont, it's not super close, but
Claremont's not far.
No, Claremont's like 35 or 40 minutes.
Everything's
I have a ton of in-laws.
Everything's about 35 to 40.
I have a ton of in-laws who live in and around Orlando, which is why I don't go. Well, when my nieces and nephews and godchildren were younger, it was great. Now they just need money for college and stuff, so it just makes it too easy to Venmo them money.
Everybody hit that thumbs up. Oh, job. Where you going? Job interview?
Job in our court.
3 likes to 30, everybody. I mean, long pants, almost shoes.
Well, so, they are almost shoes.
Just because the calendar says it's
no, that
spring
right,
doesn't mean that you have to dress that way. It's cold out, my man.
By the way, did everybody join our Facebook page, The Original Art Experience? Jay, can you put the link up? Robbie joined.
I joined. John Cole joined.
Huh?
John Cole joined. I know. I saw him in there.
Rex hasn't.
I don't join much, as you can see.
What are you, Groucho Marx? I don't want to be in any.
You know, Robbie would love to co-host the art show sometime.
Which show?
The art show with you.
He's more than welcome to. You're more than welcome to.
What?
Is she being honest, or she just throwing you into?
Robbie, you said you'd want to co-host the art show sometime, right?
Oh, I would love to do that. That sounds super fun.
What did Marcus say? How come there's so few Vampirella? What?
Variants.
There's going to be. We'll have to discuss group exclusive content.
Yeah, really.
That group.
We have so many Vampirella variants. Let's see. Are we talking about the retail or exclusive covers? Or
It's 22 or is it more than 22?
We sold a lot of retailer exclusives. A lot. We sold 84,000 copies. Now, whether or not we get paid, I don't know, because Diamond hasn't paid us in a while.
I was going to say, all I noticed is another Emerald cover. You're welcome, Dynamite fans.
I guess we'll find out more about the Dynamite or the Diamond news this week, right? They're in the midst of the auction right now. It's going into tomorrow, I heard. So
it is. Wow, variants.
Oh,
so by Friday,
that's not going.
So by Friday, you'll have news about who's acquired Diamond.
Ain't me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have to send a strongly worded email to our creative editorial team because of that title.
Marcus,
that was Valentine's Day, dude, and I'm still catching grief from these guys.
We need more Mom Law specials. That's what we need.
I refuse to say it
You
anymore.
won't say it anymore.
Okay. Are you in on this, dude?
No.
No.
Way to have my back, Nick.
Oh man.
All right. So last chance, get your hashtag in before we do the drawing.
Oh,
hashtag
did we do the comic
EXP. Yeah. Oh, Steve B. Come on, John. Pay attention, man. All right. So last chance. And
whoa, we're giving that away?
Yeah, we're giving that away.
He just gives your stuff away.
I noticed.
You never
been taking stuff, John.
You never see me rifle through your inventory, sir.
Somebody check his trunk.
Oh, he's been missing one issue of Green Hornet for 10 years.
I love this Todd Father distribution. You know, the reality is that Todd has more petty cash in his pocket. He has enough to buy it.
That's true.
That's the big rumor we're all hearing. That's the big rumor is Todd is circling around, but we'll see.
Does he still have the minor league hockey team?
Is it that you say Mwa Kissy? How do you say it?
I'm not saying it.
I won't say
okay.
it.
Rex, how come you haven't joined our Mwa Facebook group yet?
Didn't know there was one. And
I sent you like 8 invites.
Not joining that one.
Oh,
all right.
Man.
So, Jay, if you would, spin that wheel before this takes on a life of its own.
Everybody, no whammies.
All right. And the winner is Triple B. Congrats, bro. All right. So Triple B is our winner. All right. So catch Robbie at 9 p.m. Central on his channel, PCP, for movie night. Mother, I believe, is a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then come back here at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, DXP.
Best Coast is doing a claim show? Is that
Best Coast is doing a claim show, I believe.
Best Coast doing a claim show?
And
and then we got a ton of people in the chat who have all sorts of. Ed Weird does a show with Robbie, with Jay, and Jay's got like 19 different shows he does. Triple B has got a show. Castle is coming back with another Castle's Corner. There's a lot of stuff for you guys to watch.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I will be back Wednesday at 7 Eastern. And then, of course, Nick and the Original Art Show on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Always appreciate this group. It's always a good time. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Big John, for coming in tonight. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
Thank you, Big Jay, for pushing buttons back there.
Yeah. You got new stuff. Change stream.
I know. So weird. Other than that, Robbie, I guess I will see you next Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right. And everyone have a great
Congratulations and good luck, everybody.
All right. And we will catch you next time.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.